Test. Hmm. Test, test, test. All right, this one's better. I'm back, baby.
They removed you from censure.
No, no, they didn't do that. They didn't remove me from anything.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Club Challenge.
Yeah.
Woo! Challenge. All right. All skips. And everyone. Jane is accounted for.
I know everybody.
Okay, so worried. Okay. I am not going to time tonight's games or tomorrow's. I'm hoping to not. We don't have to time Saturdays to just keep them efficient. I did leave 2 hours and 15 minutes. If you have not paid your lunch money, there will be either AJ and I will have an envelope behind the bar, $30, and fun. You want to deal with it. Okay, so yes.
Okay, just because I don't catch it.
Elizabeth has said yes
Or
to
if I
Venmo.
catch that.
If you Venmo, you still have to let us know if we cross you off, otherwise. Okay. 8 ends this year. One of the benefits of us being smaller than a past year. We are doing 8 ends. You can remember it. Fit enough into it. Yeah, you can't fit enough into Saturday if you have 18 ends. 8 ends. Rocks, supplies. And by the end of you guys, now that we have officially have 12 teams and not 13, I will have a final draw. I will send it out. All right.
Can you start over?
John's going to be out by the time we get off. We'll get off at 8 ends. 8 ends. No, I got rid of that a couple years ago. I know people hated that. The time club challenge me not make knockouts. But when you did 8 ends and not make knockouts, like 3 hour and 45-minute games, and then like.
I feel like that's an exception. So only today, Saturday?
Saturday, Sunday. Sunday will be the final. Or DFM finals. Well, I originally also couldn't do Saturday night games, and now I can.
You doing broadcasting?
Yes. All right. Welcome to the 2021 Nutmeg Club Challenge Bonspiel. This is the first draw. And this is Mark Zakin, and in the words of George Costanza, I'm back, baby. So have scotch in hand. I have Liz Tully joining me. Are you picking up a microphone, or are you just hanging out?
Just gonna hang out. Find something interesting.
We will take a look at who's on which sheet here. So starting on sheet A, we have Little Bow Sweep, skipped by Brian Tully with vice Jake Ness, second Jane Murray, and lead Jeff Enchura, versus the Itsy Bitsy Slider, skip Ed Simia, vice Siri Parsons, second Alistair Ong, and lead Terry DePaolo. On sheet B, we have sweep Family Robinson, skipped by Brian Glatzel, with Julie Pasnow at vice, Chris Liu at second, and it looks like Erin Weedman at lead tonight. Versus Little Red Sliding Hood, skipped by Ryan Heidi, vice Rick Sheridan, second Sulu, and lead Jim Bria. And on sheet C, we have Don't Let the Pigeon Skip the Team, skipped by Larry, Skinny Larry, with Rick Moore at vice, Dan Villagomez at second, and Cindy, I don't know, Menzia, I don't know that one. And Sweeping versus Sweeping Beauty, skipped by Marianne Rogaman, with Elizabeth Falsetti at vice, second Paul Douglas, and lead Sean Hogan. We have some rocks underway. So on sheet C, we've got the perfect centerline guard. On sheet B, we have a stone that was thrown into the top 8. And over on sheet A, first stone looks like is underway with sweepers on it. I have scotch in hand, but apparently our ice cube maker is not working, and so I do not have one small cube in my scotch. Taking a neat. Over on sheet C, we have a red stone that came into the top 12. Over on sheet B, they decided to go with the corner guard, which was perfectly thrown. And over on sheet A, it looks like there's a hog and a through, as Liz Tully just told me. So nothing much happening on sheet A at the moment. Who lost a gripper? Jim Bria looking to come around on sheet B behind this corner guard, I think. Maybe that's not the play. I think a center guard is probably the play here. In any event, it looks like it's gonna hog. And it did. Over on sheet A, sweepers are on it, trying to throw that center guard. That one looks pretty good. Over on sheet C, we have the first hit of the evening. Marianne asking for Sean Hogan to throw a hit here with a ton of broom. I don't think that stone, she must be drawn in because that can't be a hit on that broom. Sweepers are not on it. It is a draw. She is looking for the draw. Sweepers are on it now on sheet C. Looks like it is going to come in, but I don't think it's going to bury. Over on sheet B, looks like a stone is center guard. Can we turn on these overhead? We got to turn on these overhead cameras here. I can't see anything. Do the overhead cameras work?
Yeah, they do, Nordy. You got to turn it on over there.
Oh, over here. Thank you. And then here?
And squeeze it. Yeah, they're on.
Oh, yeah.
Then you go down there.
Trying to turn on the overhead TVs so I can see what the hell is going on here. Looks like we have some action on the overhead TVs.
You must have pressed this one again. They just go on. You're on.
Okay. All right. On sheet C, there's one stone in the back 12. Sheet B seems to have a lot of action. Can't get these overhead Chris Liu throwing a big weight hit over on sheet B. He does, but he hits his own stone, looks like. And so red is counting 2. Ryan Heidi is counting 2 on sheet B and looking to ask Sulu to put up a guard. Over on sheet A, we have 2 red stones in the house, and Ed is looking to hit the one on the top with Alistair Ong. Stone is on the way. Looks a little down. They're sweeping it hard to try and keep it on line and maybe get something out of it. I think it's going to be very short. Chris Sulu tried to throw the guard and was a little short. So those stones are still exposed, and it looks like her husband, Chris Liu, is now going to try and take out the stone that's on the button. Brian Glatzel looking for a throw down the center line. Throw down the center line looks pretty good. Sweepers are waiting. That should definitely be on. They should be sweeping it now. They're on it now. They're probably came a little off to try and get the roll behind the guard. And they get a little bit of a roll. You can see probably half of that. Over on sheet C, they're trying to hit those two red stones on the back, and this looks very good. It's going to hit one and flop in front of the other. Very nice shot by Paul Douglas. Ryan Heidi is going to ask Rick Sheridan to hit that stone back that Chris Liu just threw. You can see enough of that to hit it. And he could get some good action and roll behind that corner guard if he throws enough weight at it. Sweepers are on it. The line is good, but it's a little down, and it is possibly going to crash. Might hit that guard on the top. And it is going to hit the yellow guard on the top and roll into the house. And not sit shot, but it is buried behind the yellow. It's very buried behind the yellow guard. I don't know who has hammer over there. Over on sheet A, Siri Parsons with a lovely slide is looking to hit that red stone.
It's going to be a real slow side.
And she's going to hit it barely. It's very, very down. And I don't think the red's going to go out. So red is still sitting 2 on that sheet, and Jake Ness is now throwing with Brian Tully making the call here, and it looks like he may want to get rid of that yellow on the top. The danger being the jam on either side on reds, so he needs to, probably knows that. Julie Paz now throwing the yellow stone, trying to draw down to that red. Very nicely by the guard. I don't know if it has enough to get down there, and it doesn't. Jake trying to hit that yellow stone on the nose. He's a little wide. Sweepers are on it. I don't know if they should be, but they are. Oh, no, it's squaring up very nicely. No jam. And sitting 3. Red sitting 3 on sheet A for Brian Tully. Rick Sheridan now again trying to hit this yellow stone on the button on B. Still not a huge amount of weight, but more broom this time, so I think he's going to get it. And it's just going to skate by, makes it, and red is sitting 2. So that would be Ryan Heidi sitting 2. Glatzel looking for Julie Paz now to throw one down the middle and hit that red stone. And over on C, Elizabeth Falsetti looking to try and hit that yellow stone on the top of the rings and flop over, I suppose. A little down weight for Elizabeth. Maybe she's just drawing in. She is just drawing in. The TV monitor on that end is not working, so I can't tell. But it looks like it's at least 2 yellow stones, maybe 3 yellow stones in the house, but that red one on the back may be out counting the yellows on the front. Hard to tell. I'll take a look in a second. On sheet B, Ryan Heidi has 3 stones counting when it comes to skip rocks, and he's probably just going to put up a centerline guard. On sheet A, Jake Ness throwing a draw tap. Little light, but may move it a little bit. Moves it enough. So red is sitting 3 for Brian Tully, and Ed Simia is asking for a hit and roll on a red stone that is on the far wide 12. The sheet is pretty slow right now, so he's going to have to throw some serious weight at that. Ryan Heidi looking to throw the guard on sheet B. Skinny Larry looking to hit one of these yellows on the top of sheet C. Skinny looks to be right on it. Not sure he's going to get to the inside of it. The sweepers are not sweeping it. It looks like dead nose to me. Ryan Heidi's guard is halfway down the ice right now. Needs to curl. It's not moving very much. And Ed Simia has rocketed out of the hack to try and make this shot. Sweepers are on it. They need a hit and roll here. Oh, and Ed tried to get the hit and roll and flashed. So it's 3 red sitting right now on sheet A. Ryan Heidi's guard did come over pretty good, so Glatzel's going to have to throw a run back on his yellow to get rid of one of those reds. Tough shot in the first end. Marianne coming down for her skip rock. Looks like she's going to try and hit the red that Skinny just hit. And that's where we are at the moment. So Skip's now getting in position for Skip's rocks. Nobody's yet ready to throw. Brian Tully's sitting 3 on sheet A, is probably looking to throw a guard somewhere. Marianne looking to throw a hit. And Glatzel's got to throw the very tough run back on sheet B. And all 3 skips are just about ready to throw. Marianne has thrown hers first. Sweepers are not on it. Looks a little wide to me and a little down. And it's not going to hit the red stone. And it looks like it's probably through. Brian Tully on sheet A is, can't tell if he's throwing a guard or a tap. Glatzel's run back is on its way. Sweepers are not on it. I like the line. It needs to come in a little bit. Oh no, it's not going to quite get there, I don't think. And it's a little down. He might get something out of it. Might get the back. Oh, a wick. And it's now sitting maybe shot. It's at least sitting second shot. I think it might be shot on the TV screen. And that was a very lucky break for Glatzel. It was a little wide, threw a stone, hit a stone into the house, and then that stone wicked off another stone in the house to come to rest on the 4. And let's see if we can get an overhead of what that looks like on the far B. Pull this up quickly. And there's the far B, and you can see it looks like it could be yellow. Anyway, back to the 6 strut overhead. Over on sheet C, Skinny has thrown a tap on his red, looks like. And it's a little heavy, and he banged it through the house. Not sure if we have a far C screen, so no, we don't. I can't show you what's going on at the other end on C. On B, Ryan Heidi is going to try an angle raise on his red to try and hit that yellow for 4. This would be an exceptional shot. He's got a fair amount of broom here. He's a touch wide. Sweepers are on it early. Not sure why, because it looks a little wide to me, but they are going on it pretty hard. And now it's coming in, but I think they may have swept it too much too soon. And it didn't curl enough. So I think that was an early sweep. And now Glatzel still has a stone. I'm not sure how he scores again. If he's sitting 1, it's probably the better part of valor to just throw it into the weeds and take the 1 or give up the 1. I'm not sure there is a good shot for him.
But he could mess it up.
Brian is sitting 3, but there is a yellow.
But yeah,
Is this skip rocks?
he's last rock.
Last rock for Brian Tully. And I don't know. Is he trying to hit that yellow stone? That would be a mistake. Maybe he's trying to
Oh, no,
tap
I'm
up his
sorry.
red.
I think he's sitting two. He's trying to.
I think he's trying to tap up his red, but if he's wide, he could tap up the yellow. So dangerous shot here, especially first end, not knowing what the curl is. But he has thrown it down, and it is moving. I'm not sure why the sweepers are on it, maybe for weight. I don't think he's going to get there. I think Brian was a little nervous that he might bang up the yellow, and so he underthrew that, and I don't think it's going to get there. So it looks like it's 2 red over on sheet A for Tully. Glatzel,
Three.
is it 3?
Yeah, I didn't notice because somebody was standing covering a rock.
All right, looks like it's 3 for Tully on sheet A. Glatzel's going way wide to maybe bang in his yellow or an in-off off the yellow. A very safe shot that is barely going to get over the hog line, so that's nothing. All right, so we have Tully up by 3 over Ed Simia after 1. Glatzel knows he got a little lucky there. Ryan a little upset that Glatzel got lucky. And over on sheet C, looks like Marianne took 1 and she's asking for the center guard. And I will now check to see if anybody is watching or chatting on this stream here. So we've got 2 people watching. Jack Miller says, hello, Mark, and good curling all. All right, so we've got 2 viewers, as I said. Not sure who the other one is, but Jack Miller is watching. Oh, maybe have 5 viewers, 3 viewers, hard to tell. Somebody out there is listening to me. All right, back to the action. So, at least they're throwing at the near houses and I can actually see something. So over on sheet A, it looks like Brian Tully asked for a stone to be put as a center guard. He got a very high one. Ed asked for a stone, looks like to be thrown to the wings, so he's got one in the 12. Brian is asking for another centerline guard over on sheet B. It looks like Glatzel was shot, which was amazing because he was up against 3 or 4. And there was just a wick on that center guard, so that he split them into 2 corner guards, and Glatzel would like a center guard. So he is asking for, looks like Aaron Wiedemann maybe, to throw the center guard. Haven't seen Aaron in all this season, and obviously not during the COVID season, but that was a very nice throw. Might be a little hot, but the delivery was really good. Sweepers are thinking about it. Glatzel, I think, has now decided to bring it in because it was a little heavy, a little handcuffed here, but it is going to make the top 4 and partly buried. Not really. It's pretty visible. Over on sheet A, it looks like Ed asked for a stone to be thrown behind the guard and it was too hot. Ryan is asking Jim Bria to throw a hit on the stone that Glatzel just put in the 4. It looks like good line. Sweepers are off it. I'm pretty sure it's going to get at least some of this yellow. It looks like it might be nose on the yellow. That's a very nice shot by Jim Bria. And over on sheet C, sweepers are on it hard. Rick Moore, Dan Villagomez. And it didn't get to the house, but it is a good corner guard for Skinny. And Marianne is going to ask to throw behind the corner guard. Not sure why she's not asking for the center guard, although the center could be peeled if she threw it. It wouldn't be, the free guard zone would be over, so I guess she's asking for a draw behind. Over on B, Glatzel is asking for a hit back from Chris Liu onto that red stone. Chris's stone is a little down and coming very close to this guard. I think he's got the guard, so they're going to try and wick in off of it. And so it's now a perfect center guard, which is nice. And the red shot stone in the 8 is completely open. Over on sheet A, there's a hog stone. And so Jane Murray is going to be asked most likely to hit this yellow rock that's in the 12. Hard shot, but Jane's got a stick, so that makes it a little easier, and she's on the left side, which makes it a lot easier. Never realized that Jane throws lefty. And she can get the weight going, but she's pitched it out into the wall, I think. So I think it's not going to get there. In fact, it's going to hit the wall before the hog line. And it's out of play. Over on sheet B, it looks like Sulu has thrown a shot that is going to help Glatzel quite a bit. She ran the centerline guard into the house, and Glatzel is now going to just guard it, I think, in the top 12 or in front of the top 12. And on sheet A, it looks like Ed is finally trying to get a draw in, and this one looks like it may stop in the house somewhere. They're both sweeping. Ed wants to sweep it back more than Brian Tully wants to sweep it back. So that the shot isn't sat on, but I think that's what Brian is going to ask Jake to do anyway, or maybe hit it. Over on B, a great plan B here, as the guard from Chris Liu was heavy. It hit Ryan Stone and then wicked off into the top, biting the top 4. So Ryan has 2 stones in the 4, but there is a double there if Sulu can throw it. It's going to take some weight to do that. Over on sheet C, there was a stone that was tapped back but too deep. Over on A, it looks like Jake Nex was wide from whatever he was trying to do, and so he whipped a stone in, but it is sitting shot, and so Ed's going to have to deal with that. It's wide open. Chris Sulu's shot at the double. Sulu's shot at the double was a little narrow. It ran the yellow back into a jam on the back 12, and there's still the shot on the back 4. So Glatzel's going to ask for the guard again from Julie this time. Over on sheet C, we have a hog stone coming up, or maybe it'll barely get over the hog line. And I apologize because I am not drinking enough to be very much fun at the moment. Over on A, Ed's hit. Oh, this is going to be really nice. He's going to just get this red stone, and it's going to roll. Oh, no, didn't get enough of the red stone, so it's rolling out, but the red stone is no longer shot. The stone in the back 12, which is completely buried, is shot, and so Brian's going to draw down to that, I'm pretty sure. Or at least try to draw top 4. He's got backing if it's deep. He's going to ask Jake to throw the draw. Not a lot of broom here. Not expecting very much curl. Ryan Heidi is looking to clear one of his red guards, maybe tap it back, which would be good. If Rick Sheridan can tap this centerline stone back onto Glatzel's shot, that would be ideal. Jake Ness's draw coming in. Sweepers, I think, may have overcooked this, but it is going to maybe settle at the tee line, but it's wide open. Settling at top 4, wide open. Rick Sheridan's tap, it looks to be a little light. He does open it up to the yellow a little bit, but a centerline guard can definitely close up that hole, and that's what Glatzel's asking for. And over on C, there's a draw coming down. Marianne is already sitting 1 behind in the back 8, and this one is going to go deep. Skinny's going to be all over this and sweep it through. Siri Parsons' hit on the red stone was fine, but it didn't come in for a hit and roll, and the red stone jammed on a yellow stone on the back. So Brian Tully, if he hits this, will be sitting at least 2, assuming he doesn't jam it on the back stone. He'll be sitting at least 2, and possibly 3, depending upon which stone is counting between the yellow that's biting the 12 and the red that's biting the 12. So looks to be yellow to me, but can't tell for sure. Looks like Glatzel didn't get his center line guard. So Rick's got an open hit on this stone on the back 4. That stone's got to curl quite a bit. It's got to come across the center line, and it hasn't moved yet. But Ryan is calling for the sweep, and it looks to be a little light. So it's going to be just a guard, and that is going to help Glatzel. Brian Tully's hit on this yellow stone is going to get it not enough and roll out. So that's a bit of a disaster. It looks like the red stone in the back 12 is still shot, but Ed can certainly get to that and sit 2, maybe 3, with
Hi, Tina.
Ed throwing. Glatzel's pretty jammed here, sitting 2, and looks like he's just going to try and throw a center line guard and take away the run back of the center line guard from Ryan Heidi, and that will leave Ryan with almost nothing if Glatzel can throw a good guard. Ed on sheet A is looking to hit that stone on the back. There is a high guard that is partly in the way of this shot, so he's got to throw down weight. It is a touch shot. He's not taking a lot of broom. I would say he's probably throwing hack weight at this. It's a shot I would expect Ed to make. Shot is on the way. Good line. Sweepers are off it. They're going to go now. Looks like he is by the guard. They should come up. Haven't come up yet. Should have come up a little earlier, I think. It's coming in pretty gently, though. Probably going to get enough of this red to move it a smidge. Don't know if he's moved it enough for it not to be counting. So, looks like the yellow is counting. It looks like he got enough. And so yellow is sitting 1. Ed is sitting 1. Looks like Brian Tully is going to try and... is he going to hit it, or is he going to draw in? I think he's going to hit it. He's taking, I don't know, he's taking a lot of broom if he's looking to hit it. I think he's undecided. Glatzel, it looks like, did not throw the guard very well. I don't know what happened here, but Ryan Heidi does have the run back on sheet B on that center stone, so Glatzel's either over curled or hogged. And over on sheet sheet C, Skinny hit a yellow stone, but it jammed on another yellow stone, and so the yellow stone is still sitting shot for Marianne. She's probably going to throw top 12. Looks like that's what the call is. Brian Tully did decide to hit the yellow stone on sheet A, and he's going to come outside in. Very tight broom. I'm expecting that he would make this shot. Line is really good. Sweepers should be on it, and they're on it now. Probably a little late on the sweep. I think this yellow is going to jam on the red. A little late on that sweep there. The yellow does jam on the red, but it's got enough force to roll out. And then the red banged another red on the back. And so red is sitting 1, completely buried, and Ed has only a draw with the hammer for 1. So that's a pretty good situation. Ryan Heidi's tap looks like it was light, and he tapped the stone into the top 8. So he's cut Glatzel down to sitting 1. Looks like Glatzel's going to try and throw the guard again. And Marianne's draw on sheet C. Sweepers are on it pretty heavy. They come off it now. I think they're just going to take it as a guard. I don't think it's getting to the house. They probably could have swept it a little more to get it to be a biter, but there is a stone on the back 12, so I don't think a biter would have been enough. And Skinny has a shot at the stone on the back. You could probably see half of it. He's got to get around that guard that Marianne just threw, but if he does, He will take 2. Glatzel's guard is, again, seems to be light and hogged. Over on sheet A,
Ed missed.
Ed was, what, light or heavy or what?
Heavy.
Ed was heavy, and so Brian Tully steals 1, and he is up 4-0 after 2. Ryan Heidi is taking a look at this. He has a stone in the top 8. That's a very hard stone to get to. He could come inside out and maybe get to it, but the danger is if he bangs it in too hard, he will give up 2. Right now he's only giving up 1. Skinny's shot on sheet C is not being swept. It looks to me to be a little heavy and wide. I might get a little piece of this yellow. It's not going to get any of it. So Skinny is wide and heavy, and it is 1 yellow, and that's 2-0 Marianne. Ryan Heidi has decided he's going to try and tap something. I can't tell whether he's trying to tap the stone that's in the 3-guard zone or he's trying to tap his stone that's in the fighting the 8. But the problem with either of these is he could easily jam onto his stone and knock it out and give up 2. So very tricky shot. A lot of risk here for Ryan. Over on A, that looks like a Jim Arndt slide. Is that Jim Arndt? Who is that? Or is that Jim Bria? Oh, Terry DiPaolo? Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Alex.
Oh, Ryan's tap just missed. It was a very good effort. Didn't do any harm, but he's still giving up 1 to Glatzel.
Tomorrow night we have
Who is that guy over there?
Terry DePaolo.
That's Terry DiPaolo? I need to spend a little more time with him. Yeah, I know. I spent a little time with him. I got to spend some more time with him.
Tomorrow night we have the guy that's done 3 greenhorns, and then he subbed on Friday, and is going to do the Bonspiel.
Is this Spencer?
No, he's also going to do it.
Oh,
And then Alex Cooper.
oh I don't
He did
know
2
Alex Cooper.
greenhorns Friday night. He's in.
All right, good. Well,
He'll be here tomorrow night.
hello. Well, I know the curling addiction.
That was not humor.
That would not be me?
No.
No, I'm not addicted at all. All right, action underway. Recap of the scores. On sheet A, we have Brian Tully up 4-0 over Ed. On sheet B, they did not post a score, but Glatzel is up 2-0 over Ryan Heidi. And on sheet C, Marianne Rogaman, who I fondly refer to as Friday Night Marianne, because some years ago I won either this or the Blarney Stone with Marianne, and she threw a spectacular shot through a port on Friday night to win the game for us. And since then, I've called her Friday Night Marianne.
Yeah.
So Friday Night Marianne has 2 guards up, very nicely positioned, and Skinny, down 2-0, is going to throw into the wings. Looks like he's got a very wide corner guard. It's very high and wide, and I'm not sure it would prevent a stone from being hit, assuming one got behind it, but that's his call. And this throw came out of her hand a little wide and is coming down the ice probably very quietly, and will just go into that pile of yellows that are in the front of the house. Over on sheet B, looks like Ryan Heidi's got a stone in the 8, and it's going to be hit and driven back and maybe out. Glatzel is sweeping it hard. I don't know if it's gotten all the way out. Looks like it's on the back 12. So Ryan's going to hit that stone in the top 12, and if he can get a hit and stick or a hit and roll over a little bit, he will be sitting 2 with no guards in front. The throw from Jim Bria on its way needs to curl quite a bit, and it's pretty heavy. So I think it's a flash. It's coming now. It's trying. I still think it's a flash, and it is. Over on sheet A, we have Tully with a stone in the top 12, and a guard coming down pretty nicely. And Tully is sitting 2. The shot stone is buried. The stone on the back is buried. And Ed has got a guard in the 3 zones, corner guard, that he's asking Alistair to tap up. So Ed not in a great spot, down 4-0 against Tully with 2 stones in the house buried. Alistair's stone looks to be a little narrow. Nope, not narrow. It's fine. It's just not heavy enough to do anything, I don't think. Sweepers are on it, but I don't think it's even going to get to that yellow stone. Well, it's trying. It's trying. But it didn't even advance it into the house. Maybe it's a biter, but it's not counting.
I told Ashley that she was in
What a good wife you are to come and watch your husband curl. You were what? Oh, you were told to come. All right, Paul Douglas's wife is in the house. Paul is throwing. So I got to be nice to Paul here.
Who's the other good wife
Yeah.
here?
Liz is here.
Who's the other good wife?
Liz, but you're a curler.
I'm still a good wife.
Well, that is a good wife, I suppose.
Is Brian coming?
Uh,
Tomorrow night?
It looks like Paul is trying to tap this stone that's in the top 12, that's up, but he's a little light and it's over curled, but it might be biting. I can't really tell. Let me go look at the screen here.
Both hockey does.
Paul is complaining that his shot was light because of his sweepers. I think his shot was light because he was light. We do not have a far C screen, so I can't really tell, but it doesn't look like any of those yellow stones are in. Skinny is looking to peel to open them up, and he just replaced his yellow with a red. I don't think that really accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. Looks like we have 7 or 8 viewers. I'm excited. And we've got action on the ice. So Marianne is looking to draw in on sheet C. Sulu is looking to throw a hit on that yellow stone and sit 3. She's a little wide and a little down. I think if it gets there, it's just going to wick this yellow in. They're probably sweeping it to sweep it by or draw in as a plan B. Definitely trying to sweep it by. And it is by. It hits the yellow a little bit and comes in. And so red is sitting 2 on sheet B. And Julie is going to be asked to hit something, I'm pretty sure. And over on sheet A, looks like Jake is looking to clear one of these yellows that Ed could tap up. Is that the call here? Or he's drawing in. If he's drawing in, he's crashing on this red guard either way. Oh, he did crash, and now he's going to bang a yellow in. A yellow comes to rest as a biter, not really doing anything, and Brian Tully's still sitting 2. Over on sheet B, looks like there's a hit on this red stone. Very nice shot. Really, really nice shot by Julie Pasnow. And cutting Ryan down to sitting just 1 now, with 2 shots that are 2 stones in the top 12 that are very tappable. So I think Ryan is looking to clear at least one of these yellows, maybe both, but there is a jam on his red that is shot rock if he hits the inside of the far right yellow. So Rick's going to have to throw some weight at this, and he can't afford to overcurl and come to the inside of that top yellow. Shot is underway. Not a huge amount of weight here. I think this has the danger of just tapping up one of those yellows. It's a little wide. It's not very heavy. And I think it's going to wick one of those yellows in to be shot. And there it is. So that was a disaster shot there. There was a lot of potential disasters there. very hard shot that was being called by Ryan. And he did Brian Glatzel's job for him by tapping up that yellow to be shot. And now Brian is looking to, I think, just guard his shot, maybe. Over on sheet A, Ryan Tully sitting 2, looking to what, draw in that narrow port, maybe? It's a tough shot, but Brian can do this. Sweepers are staying off it. It needs to move. You don't want to wick that yellow in. Sweepers are on it, not sure why. Definitely do not want to wick the yellow in. Should sweep it to hit that red stone instead of the yellow, and they did. And they brought the other red in, and now they're sitting 3. That definitely works. So over on sheet B, it looks like Glatzel did get that center guard, and Ryan is looking for a very tough hit through a narrow port. I'm not even sure this shot is there, to be honest with you. It's got to come in inside the red that Brian has. I think he's better off trying to just hit the red into the yellow. Maybe that's the call. He's got a pretty tight broom if he's looking for the red to hit the yellow. If he's looking to come through the port, that's crazy. I just don't think that shot's there. Rick has thrown more weight at this than he did on the last shot, significantly more weight. It's definitely going to tap his red, but I don't think it's going to get enough of an angle to tap it on the yellow. But it did bang off his own red and into sit shot. So that's kind of similar to what Glatzel did in the first end, getting a lucky shot. Rick's got a lucky shot now, so they're tied at lucky shots on sheet B. Over on sheet A, Ed is trying to run his yellow stone in to be a counter, and he's definitely going to hit it. And it looks beautiful. Very nice shot. That's what you expect from Ed. And he knocked his yellow in to the button, top 4, and completely buried. So that kind of guts Brian's end here. But Brian could just jam it up and give up 1. He's up 4-0. I think the right play is to just jam it up. But we'll see. He may be trying to draw in behind it. There is a draw behind it, but I'm not sure it's worth throwing. Glatzel has a wide open draw. I don't think he can hit that red stone that's on the button, but he could draw down to it. It's completely buried. And over on sheet C, it's Skinny's first shot, and it looks like on sheet C, Marianne is, I can't tell. There's no sheet C far camera. Looks like Marianne is sitting 1 with that yellow stone in the back, and Skinny's going to try and hit it and sit 2. That's what it looks like. Over on sheet B, Glatzel's draw is pretty wide. Sweepers are on it. If it comes in, it's not burying, and it will give Ryan a wide open shot. Not burying, but it is counting. So Glatzel is sitting shot, but it's a wide open hit for Ryan. He doesn't want to, I don't think there's a yellow-red jam, so I don't think he has to worry about it. Skinny's throw is underway, and sweepers are on it, and it looks like he's going to crash on a red stone in the top 12, roll across the house. We'll see if it settles to be shot somewhere, and it does. So Skinny didn't make the throw he was trying to make. He is sitting shot, but I think he's only sitting for 1. Over on A, Ed Simia has a draw with backing 4-2, as Brian Tully did try to come in and was a little heavy. Honestly, I think Brian would have been better off just throwing a guard there and giving up 1, but he tried to be aggressive, and he gave Ed this shot for 2, but Ed's shot is a little wide and a little heavy and is going to go through. So no matter. He's just going to sit. It's just going to be he's just going to take 1. And after 3, Brian Tully is up 4-1. Over on sheet B, it looks like Ryan Heidi's hit is wide. He hit the stone, but he didn't stay. And so Ryan's just going to is just going to sit 1 at the moment. And again, I think Glatzel would be well served to just throw a guard in the top 8, maybe just biting the 8 and cutting down the angle for Ryan to get 2. I don't think he wants to be deep, and I don't think he can bury. But, I mean, if he can bury, there is room in front of the tee line to sit shot and steal. So we'll see how aggressive Brian wants to be. He could just bite the 8 and make it difficult for Ryan to take more than 1, or he could try to draw in and steal, but that would give Ryan a chance for 2. Over on sheet C, Marianne, it looks like, is going to try and tap her yellow up. Shot has got enough weight for a tap. It's got to come over. Sweepers are off it. I think it might be a little heavy. She might catch it and run hers back into Skinny's shot stone. Nope, comes over the top of that. Oh, it did hit it a little bit. Don't know if she got enough of it to knock it out. See if I can get a look here, better look. She did move it, and she is sitting shot. Friday Night Marianne is celebrating her her wick shot. Can't tell if she's sitting 2, but she's definitely sitting 1. She's pumped for that shot. Go get 'em, Friday Night Marianne. Glatzel, what did Glatzel do? Looks like Glatzel was light and wound up with a center guard, looks like to me. I don't think that guard was in the right spot for what he wanted. So he's probably afraid to throw in. Recapping on sheet A, they are starting the 4th end with Brian Tully up 4-1 versus Ed. Over on sheet C, looks like Skinny is going to try and hit that yellow stone that is sitting in the top 8. A lot of jams on this. He's got to hit the inside of it. And over on sheet B, looks like Ryan Heidi is going to throw his open draw for 2. He just needs to be full 8, maybe biting the 4. Skinny's hit on sheet C is looks a little wide, but I don't think it's going to jam. Maybe it's going to be close on the jam. Oh, and he did jam it. So Skinny's hit was a little wide, jammed it, and I can't really tell. It looks like it's at least 1 yellow. It's at least 1 yellow. Could be 2 yellow. Ryan Heidi's draw. He's not looking pretty happy, so I'm assuming he didn't make it. What did Ryan Heidi do on B? Do we know? Did you see? It looks like he just took 1, I think. Score is being posted. Over on sheet A, Brian Tully's got 2 stones in the house already on the wings, 1 in the 12, 1 in the 8. Ed looking for the center guard. And he's got some work to do with Brian sitting 2 and up 4-1. Score not posted on B yet, not posted on C yet, although I know Marianne took at least 1. Oh, she took 2. Skinny jammed his hit on the back and gave up 2. He's looking for a draw to the wings. I don't know who this is that is throwing for him. Cindy, I don't know her last name. Menzahia? We don't know her last name. I've never seen her before. But this throw is coming down the center line, looking a little hot, and I think it's going to hit the Marianne's center line guard, and the question is whether it's going to be just a wick into the house or it's going to drive it out. I think it's just a wick into the house. Skinny's is going to wick in. Marianne's going to wick in. Marianne sitting shot. Skinny biting the 12. Ryan Heidi sweeping a stone back into the 12. He's got a center line, just off center line guard. And it looks like Brian Tully got rid of... How did Brian get rid of that guard? There was a center line guard, wasn't there?
Watching, but he did get rid of it.
It must have been peeled. because there's enough rocks in play that he could peel it, so he must have peeled it. He's probably going to peel this one too. A hit from Jim Bria on the stone on the back, and he just barely got it. Didn't stay, but knocked the stone out. Tully is, I think, looking for Jane to peel this stone, maybe? I don't know. No, he's looking to draw. It's not a center line guard, so I guess he's looking to draw behind it. It's a corner guard and put a third stone in the house and really put the pressure on Ed. Over on B, looks like Brian Glatzel is looking for a stone to be T-line, and it looks heavy. Ryan Heidi getting ready to sweep it. I don't think he's going to need to bother. That stone is sailing through the house. He will give it a gentle sweep, but it's through. Brian Tully's call for a draw behind the corner guard was light, and so now there's two corner guards for Ed to draw behind, and that's what Ed's call is for Siri Parsons with her first stone. I think it's her first stone. Over on B, Sulu looking to draw in behind the corner guard. Sweepers are on it. That looks light to me. I think it's going to barely get over the hog line. If it gets over the hog line at all. It's very close. And just over. Very good sweep by Jim Bria and Rick Sheridan. Series draw is going to maybe bite. It's in a good place to tap, but it didn't make the house. Looks like on C, Paul Douglas tried to hit that red stone and missed it. His wife says he whiffed. Good wife that she is. Not sure Paul invited you down to see that. Not sure why. He dragged you all the way down.
It's so far.
It's very far. You're what, like 8 minutes from here? Over on C, looks like Dan Villagomez was asked to hit this yellow stone, which he did, but he did not stay, which he really needed to do. Down 4-0, that really needed to be a hit and stay. Marianne not hitting the stone on the top 12. Paul now asking her whether maybe he should. And so it's been changed to a hit on the red stone in the top 12. So now, Paul, you called this shot. You have to make it. We'll see if Paul can make the called shot. It looks a little wide on the release and a lot of weight, but I think he's going to get it. No sweepers on it yet. I think he's going to hit it, but I don't think he's going to stay. Huge amount of weight. And that's coming across the sheet. Oh, very nice. And it is going to stay just behind the tee line in the 8. Very nice to Paul. So now getting a little applause from Paul's wife. Finally making it worth the drive down from Trumbull. Glatzel looking to draw behind two red stones that are corner guard, that are just off the center line. This looks to be a smidge heavy, maybe. Not much. Glatzel sweeping it. It's pretty much T-line. And 1/2 buried. Rick has been struggling on hits. Brian's given him a lot of broom, looking for a down weight tap on this yellow stone. So hopefully Rick won't cross him up and throw more weight, because this, on that broom, this has to be very down weight. Over on A, a little draw from Jake Ness through a very nice port to sit 3, top 4, very nice T-line. That's 2/3 to 3/4 buried, and Ed is now looking to how he's going to hit it. Rick Sheridan's hit is coming in, very down weight. Very nice, Rick. Good shot. He's going to hit that Yellowstone out and stay. Not quite buried behind the corner guard. So Glatzel has a shot at hitting it. And Ed, looks like Ed thinks he can chip this red stone and roll to be behind his guard that's in the top 3. This is a very tough shot, honestly. I don't know too many people in the club making this shot. It's really got to be perfect. That stone is like maybe 7/8 buried. And if he hits it, he's not going to move it very much. He's just going to wick it and hope to roll over into coverage. We'll see. Can't really put anything past Ed. Got to come across the center line. Not yet coming across. He's on the sweep now. Coming across the center line now. It's very down weight. It looks like it's going to get past the guard, but I don't know if it's got enough weight to really do anything to this stone. So it is past the guard, but it is going to be short. It is going to cut Brian down, I think, at least one stone. But Brian is still sitting 2. That was an incredibly difficult shot. Ryan Heidi looking to maybe draw one to the top 12 here and guard his stone that's on the back 8. Marianne has somehow managed to have 2 red stones in the house. She's trying to corner down to one of them. Don't bump. No, too much sweeping, and they bumped off of it. They needed to come off that sweep a little earlier because now they bumped off and they're wide open, and Rick Moore can hit this, and Skinny can sit 3, down 4-0. Ryan Heidi's guard came a little deep, but it's counting and sitting 2. But it did leave a double, and Glatzel's going to ask for the double, changing which broom he wants to come in on, which way. He's decided to come inside out. Pretty tight broom for Julie, who doesn't throw super big weight, so we'll see if he's got the right. My headphones just beeped. Not sure why. Got to check on that. Rick Moore's hit is dead nose, sitting 3 on C. My headphones. No. I don't know. They beeped, but I'm not sure. Nope, I'm still alive. Okay. So, not sure what Julie's hit did on B, but those 2 red stones are still there, so I'm assuming she flashed through. Which is a bit surprising given where that broom was. Over on A, Tully is sitting 2, and Ed is going to throw another difficult shot. He's going to throw an in-off on Tully's stone on the 12 that's close to the wall.
Dropkin did it last night. So.
Yeah, well, Ed's not Dropkin. And I haven't watched that game yet. Ed is going to throw an in-turn. Ed is going to throw an in-turn, so he's not expecting this to move at all. And he's throwing very big weight at it. Sweepers are not on it. They're on it now. He's definitely going to get the corner of it. This could be really good. See how much roll he gets. Nope, not enough roll. Got too much rock. This is a very hard shot. Ryan looking to just throw a guard. Begging for this to get over the hog line. Begging, begging, begging. And does get over the hog line, but did not come enough, and Glatzel can see all of those 2 red stones. He really almost has a choice as to which way he wants to come. He's going to come with the in-turn, outside in. Tully is going to try and hit the stone that Ed just threw, and if he can come inside and roll, he will be sitting 3 and completely buried. Oh, he does. This is hammer, right? Or does Ed have another stone? This is hammer. So Tully with a shot to hit and stick for 3, and it looks like he's got it. So nice shot. Is he out counting the stone on the back? Looks like he is.
Wow.
Oh, it's very close. It's very close for these other 2 stones on the back and the front. They're taking good looks at it. I think it's at least 2. I think it's at least 2 for Tully. Not sure about the third one. Over on sheet C, down 4-0. Skinny has a draw in. I think Marianne still has a shot, so Skinny's just looking to throw a guard and try to make it difficult for Marianne. But Marianne's got a wall of stones she can draw to. Glatzel's double is on the way and looks really good. Really, really good. He's got one of them. And he rolled buried and to sit shot behind a wall of guards. So Glatzel with another very nice shot is sitting one, up 2-1 in the closest game on the board right now. Over on sheet A, we have a measure. I think it's red on the overhead, but it's super close. I would not call this a begging measure, which anybody who knows me knows I hate the beg measure, but I don't think this is a beg measure. I think this is a beg measure, Liz wants to know, is where the vice, who should know that his stone is not counting, his or her stone is not counting, calls for a measure when they shouldn't because they're begging that it's them and it's not. And everybody knows it's not them, except for them. That's the beg measure. And
Are the rings ever a little off center?
they are, but still, I happen to have a real affliction on the beg measure. It looks like they called it red. I did think it was red, and it looks like it's hard to say because the rocks were both kicked toward the center. So it's at least 2, could be 3. It's at least 6-1 Tully, maybe 7-1 Tully. Over on sheet B, Ryan is, I think, going to try to draw behind that yellow or maybe chip it. I mean, he can't get to it. It's just not possible. It is over buried by the red and the top in the 1-2 guard area and cannot be hit. So maybe he's trying to draw behind it. I don't know. But if he's trying to hit it, there's no chance at that. And over on sheet C, Marianne tried to draw down, it looks like, and was light. And so Skinny is sitting 3, looks like with an open draw and a wall of stones to sit 4. Ryan, it looks like, is trying to draw down, and he wicked. And the weight was good, but I think it was a little narrow. And so it's 1 for Glatzel, and he's got another stone with an open draw, or he can hit this red for 3. That red is very buried. Maybe from the inside out he can get to it, but most likely if he got to it, there'd be a jam on that yellow, and he's only getting 2. I think Glatzel's better play here is just a draw, but I think he's going to get greedy and try to hit that red. I think the better play here would be just to draw for 2. But I'm not skipping. And if he makes it, he's right and I'm wrong. He could, even if it jams, he could still get 2. Very, very tough shot. Very, very tough shot for Glatzel. I was right on sheet A. It was red. And it's 3 for red. And that puts Tully up over Ed. 7-1. Tully has already thrown a stone into the back 12, and I'm very curious about this Glatzel shot. I did not see what Skinny did on sheet C on his last stone, but he got at least 3, maybe 4. He did get the 4, so he did get 4. Mrs. Douglas, who is watching intently her husband's performance here and knows what the score is. Glatzel's shot for this hit is gonna just wick the guard and roll in and count 2. So another miss in this battle between Ryan and Brian. That's 2 lucky shots for Brian, 1 lucky shot for Ryan. And as a consequence, Glatzel is up 4-1 after 4. And me, I'm out of scotch. So,
Sorry, we don't have ice.
and we don't have ice, and I've lost my glass. I found my glass. I will be going to the bar.
I would have gotten you ice.
Why is the ice maker not working?
Broke yesterday.
Broke yesterday. Hit me, AJ. It's halftime. Thank you, sir. Whoops. Nope. Nope. All right, hopefully you'll have that ice maker fixed by the time I play tomorrow.
Who's looking at it tomorrow?
Kitty, you'll have that ice maker fixed by the time I play tomorrow?
Yes, I'm just thinking that tomorrow. If all the water's getting on you, then it's not.
If
getting
not,
on
I
the
will at
ice.
least go buy spring
Kitty, you hearing this?
water ice for you.
Thank you. Okay, so back at the games. We now have a tie game on sheet C. That's the closest game. We have a 4-1 Glatzel lead over Heidi on sheet B. We have a 7-1 lead by Brian Tully on sheet A. With Ed putting up corner guards and having a not even a biter. He's got 2 corner guards on the far right of the sheet. Tully's got a stone, back 12, and he's going to probably try to draw behind those yellow guards. Jane about to throw the draw. Over on sheet B, we've got a center guard and a stone in the back 8 that it looks like Glatzel wants Siri, not Siri, but Aaron to hit. And this is a very good throw by Aaron. Sweepers are on it, but this is basically dead nose. Really nice shot. Very, very nice shot by Aaron. I raise my glass to Aaron.
To Aaron.
Ryan asking Jim Bria to do the same thing. He's a little wide. Pitch this back along the center line. It's got to come. It's working, though. I think he's going to make it because it's down. And sweepers are on it. So it looks like he's got dead nose also. Actually over curling a little bit, but should still stay. Yep. Nice hit for Jim. I raise a glass to Jim now. Salud. Over on A, looks like Alistair Ong is trying to maybe hit that red stone on the front. He's light.
No, he was trying to
Draw behind.
Side, but his
He's gonna tap that red stone in, it looks like, unless it's short. Nope. All right. No, he's got to draw to the button.
Yep.
Very nice. It's wide open though. What did Paul do? Did he throw through there? Mrs. Douglas not even watching. Came all the way down to not watch.
She was told to come.
She wasn't told to watch. She listened, right, she listened well to the instruction. Please come.
She did the assignment. It was
Please come and
smile
sit.
occasionally.
Please come and sit and do not watch my game.
You did something.
Robert Kwan is in the house.
Robert Kwan.
Good to see you, Robert.
See you too.
You're welcome to pick up a mic if you want to join me.
Here for a couple minutes.
Paul being asked to draw behind this corner red stone in the closest game on the ice. Marianne giving him a very tight broom. He's a little wide of that broom, which is probably better because that broom was pretty tight. It's coming in now. I like the weight. Sweepers are on it. It's going to get behind that red guard very nicely. They got to get it there. Come on, sweep hard. All right, they may have overcooked it a little bit. But it's in and dead buried. And so Skinny's going to draw down to it as it looks to be maybe a little behind the tee line.
That's fair.
Yeah. Michael has the other.
Over on A, Brian Tully with a big lead is just going to hit anything he sees in the house. And so he's asking Jake to hit this yellow stone that's in the 8. Chris Sulu, I'm sorry, looking to draw behind this center guard, corner, sort of off center guard. Sweepers are on it pretty hard.
Double. Big just got its
And
own-
Jake just doubled out a bunch of yellows. I think, is that yellow on the back sitting shot or is the red shot? The red is shot. Oh, there is no yellow. All right, the red is shot. And Ed is looking to see whether his yellow in the 12 is a biter, which it isn't. So he's going to just draw behind. And let's see what else is going on. Julie looking to hit that red stone in the top 12 on sheet B. Siri looking to draw in. Julie's stone is offline. They're going for a plan B to wick off the yellow, but they've missed that, so this is just going to float through. Elizabeth Falsetti looking to draw down to that red that Paul Douglas threw. No, the red is already drawn down to the stone that Paul Douglas threw because Paul is sweeping Elizabeth Falsetti's stone, which looks like it may crash. They got to go hard. And it's going to crash, I think. And it did. The red guard is out of play. The yellow, did it spin in to catch any part of the house? Let me check that. Looks like red is sitting 2. Alexis has sent a chat. Hello, Nutmeg family. Thank you to the many, many members who volunteered their time to get this club up and running this season. Good curling at the club challenge. Can't wait to curl in it tomorrow. So Alexis is watching. Hello, El Presidente. And I'm sure Tony is also watching, and maybe even the entire Boken Fuso family. So good on them. Alexis is doing a great job as president, by the way. I don't say that just to stroke her ego. I say that because I mean it. People who know me know I don't just say stuff just to say stuff. So over on sheet C, looks like Rick Moore has drawn into the button, but it's wide open. And so Elizabeth is going to be asked to hit this and roll behind the corner guard that's on the left side of the sheet. It's a big roll, but I think the broom is right. She's got to catch just an edge of this and get the roll. Throw is on line. Sweepers are sweeping it hard to try and catch just the outside of it. And they have to come off it now because they may have kept it too far out. Oh, and that should not have been swept that quickly. She is flashed. That was swept prematurely. I needed to move more. I think it shouldn't have been swept until it crossed the center line, but over on sheet B, Rick Sheridan being asked to draw in with Ryan already sitting shot on the back, biting the back 12. So you want to be above the tee line here and behind those guards. And it looks a little light. Sweepers are on it. Keep it moving. It's not going to bury, and it is going to be deep. So maybe not that deep. Oh, it's a good spot. There is a jam on the stone on the back if they try to hit it. You got to come across the face of it, but that's available. Plenty of room to hit and roll behind it and sit shot. Over on sheet A.
Brian split one up to sit 3, and then Ed hit out his first counter. That's wide open.
All right, so Brian's sitting second and third shot. Ed is sitting shot with a stone, biting the 8 that's wide open. Brian has a pretty clear hit on this and could get, if he gets the inside of this and rolls behind guards, this game could be a shake very early. Over on B, it looks like Glatzel's going to try that hit and roll on the stone that was just thrown. And over on C, the closest game in the club at the moment, Skinny was trying to draw in, was maybe a smidge heavy, bounced off his red that was sitting shot. Maybe that was supposed to be a guard, but Skinny now has 3 counters in the rings, I think, on sheet C. I'll look at this. But they're all very open. So Skinny has a stone, has two stones on the button, one in the 8, one in the 12. He's sitting 4. Marianne has hammer. And really she needs to draw down to this stone or hit it. Not sure which she's decided. On that broom, looks like she's going for the hit. She has hammer, so the hit is fine. If she didn't have hammer, the draw would have been better play. But she's got to hit one of them. If she hit the one on the right and rolled in front of the one on the left, that wouldn't be terrible. But on this broom, if she hits the broom, she should have this stone. And so Marianne's slide is on the way, a little tight. Sweepers are on it. I think she's a little tight to the broom, and it's now crossed the center line, which means it's going to snap quite a bit. And there it is, moving quite a bit. She's in danger of flashing both stones. They're trying to hold it to get the one on the left, the other one, and they don't get any of it. So it's an unfortunate flash for Friday Night Marianne. It was just tight out of her hands, and on this ice, once it hits the center line going inside out, it's going to snap, and that's exactly what happened. Ryan Heidi is drawing. I guess Glatzel hit his stone out and maybe rolled over into the 12 because Glatzel's got 2 stones in the house. Ryan is looking to throw a draw in. And over on A, Liz has abandoned me, but it looks like Ed has a stone on the button somehow. So it looks like Ed takes 1, and it is 7-2, and they will play on. 7-2 on sheet A. After 5, they play on. Skinny, I think, probably looking to just guard on sheet C the 2 stones that he has on the button, which will make it substantially more difficult for Marianne on his last shot. And if he throws another one in, I don't think Marianne's got enough weight to move them all out. So I don't think this one's going in. It did overcurl a little bit. So Marianne, coming from the other direction, does have an open shot at those 2 stones. This one will not snap like the other one because the other one was coming down the center line out. This one is coming from the outside in and will not move as much. She really cannot afford to crash on that red guard that Larry just threw. So the miss here is to hit the one on the outside and at least cut Larry down to 1. If she tries to gamble and go inside and she crashes on the guard, she's going to give up 4. So to be shot, she has to cut inside and get the back one, but that's extremely dangerous. I think the safe play is to just nose the one or get maybe just inside the one. That is the second shot, and just give up 1 here. Over on sheet B, looks like Glatzel is drawing in. And was that hammer? It looks like it was hammer. So Glatzel takes 3, looks like, or does Ryan still have a stone? No, Ryan still has a stone because Ryan has hammer. So Ryan has an open hit and stay to take 1. If he flashes out, if he hits this, if he throws it too heavy and hits the corner of it, it may jam on the one on the 12, and that could save him. But if he is not nose or inside nose here, he could give up 2. And then we will now focus on Marianne's shot because that is probably a game-deciding shot here for Marianne. She's taken a bit of broom. She really just has to be, I think, nose on that 1 stone and give up 1. It's a little wide. Sweepers are not touching it. Oh, it's coming in nicely now. Sweepers need to get on that. Get on that. Come on, go hard, guys. Go hard. You can't crash on that red guard. All right, they're inside the red guard. They may get the one on the back. Oh, Friday Night Marianne. Yes. Friday Night Marianne. Yeah. All right. Super big shot by Friday Night Marianne to take 1.
Quiet one. You never underestimate her.
Oh, I love Marianne.
Never underestimate Marianne.
Nice shot by Marianne. That was a big one. That was a super big shot. Super, super big shot by Friday Night Marianne. She takes a 5-4 lead going into the 6th, and I salute her with my second scotch of the evening. That was very big. Mrs. Douglas, did you see that one?
I did, I was watching.
She's applauding, even though her husband had very little to do with it. Mike Hope is watching, and he says succinctly, sup. So sup to everybody from Pinto. Over on sheet A, Ed has 3 stones in the house. None of them are counting at the moment, I don't think. I think Brian Tully's red cornered to the yellow, and the 12 is counting. Brian's going to hit this yellow. What he doesn't want to be is, even if he's wide and hits the red into the yellow and they both go, that's not terrible, although that would leave Ed sitting too. Jane coming out, the touch wide, but the weight may be enough to bring it back in. Sweepers are deciding. I think she's got it. I think she might have nose. And she does. Nice shot by Jane. Over on sheet B, looks like Glatzel is putting up the tight corner guard. I love that throw. So that's a nice throw. Ryan is going to tap his center line guard. Not sure he needs to tap right away, but it's not a bad play. The only problem with the tap is there isn't much to hide behind other than the yellow. So he needs to either angle tap it or dead tap it straight. Bria's shot is a little wide and a little heavy. I don't think it's coming back for a tap. Need to switch to a draw in plan B, and it looks to be a little heavy, and Glatzel's going to go out and maybe sweep it. Weight was really good for a tap, but not going to be good for a draw plan B. A little wide, and it's going through. Over on sheet C, there's a nose hit and stay. Very nice shot by Sean Hogan. And now we have, looks like Cindy, can't pronounce her last name, but she's being asked to throw a corner guard to the wings, maybe draw down to that stone on the back 12. She could use that at backing. That wouldn't be terrible. Stone looks to be a little light to me, but sweepers are not on it yet. They're on it now. I need to stay on it and come all the way down to this stone. It's over curling, so they got to sweep it to stay straight. This could be a really good shot. They need to stay on it, though. Nope. It's just too light. It's going to be a corner guard for that yellow stone in the back. Marianne pounding the ice, trying to figure out what her play is, but her play is the draw to the center. And she's come up with that. So very tight broom, very, very tight broom. She has an option to tap up. I don't see how she draws behind on that broom. Paul Douglas about to throw. Mrs. Douglas?
I'm watching.
She is watching. Paul is on the broom, maybe even a little pitched wide on the broom. Sweepers are on it. Don't think they should be on it. They should be off, but they're not off yet. Now they're off. They may have overcooked it a smidge. It's trying to settle now. It's they did overcook it a smidge, but not terrible. It's back 8 and mostly buried, so that's a good shot. On sheet B, Glatzel looking to remove the center guard with hammer. He's asking Chris Liu to get rid of that dangerous rock in the center guard, and Chris has gotten rid of it. He'd like a little roll, but he didn't get the roll. It's okay. It's now a center guard for Ryan, and he's going to try and draw behind. And over on sheet A, with a 7-2 lead, Brian Tully has asked Jake to clear that yellow stone out from the top, which he did, and it looks like Brian is sitting 2. And Ed is asking for a draw behind the corner guard. If Siri can make that, that'd be a really good spot. Over on sheet B, Ryan looking for a draw, but it's narrow from Sulu, and she may bang one of these yellows up, and that would make it 3 for Glatzel on the lucky shots to Ryan's 1. And that stone is sailed to the back 8, not completely buried, but it's a tough shot to get to it. The draw here was a little deep.
Because nobody wants to eat those.
Brian sweeping it all the way to the back, and Tully is still sitting at least 2. And looking to put another one in top 8. Glatzel looking to draw behind that red. What you don't want to do, obviously, is bang that red in after Ryan's team banged the yellow in. Chris Liu is pretty wide, so is definitely not banging the red in. And there's some question as to whether it's even going to make it to the house. Sweepers are on it. They're going pretty hard, and I think they are going to get the house. They should probably come off it now, and they have. They're still sweeping it a little bit. And they will get top 12. You don't want to be too deep because you don't want to give them a hit and roll behind. That's probably a little too deep. Ryan now asking for the hit and roll. For those of you who may have read my materials or attended my program, you got to remember not to come too deep on these draws and give an open hit and roll where if they hit and roll behind, they're going to be shot. So that one should not have been swept that deep. The judgment call, tough to make in the middle of the sweep, but if Rick Sheridan can hit this and roll behind, he will sit shot. Ryan has them sweeping it. It's down. It's definitely going to hit. They should come off this, and they did, to try and get inside for the roll, but I don't know if they're going to get the roll. It's a nose hit. And so that now gives Glatzel the opportunity to try the hit and roll. Over on sheet C, Marianne, Friday night Marianne is sitting 3 with 2 in the back 4, and she's asking Elizabeth Falsetti to throw a guard. I probably would come the other way here because it's anytime you try to look for one of these cross the center line guards, they kind of hang and don't cross. She probably should have had a tighter broom. Elizabeth is tight actually on the shot, which is going to help because once it crosses the center line, which it's just about to do now, it's going to break nicely. So Elizabeth Falsetti a little narrow on the throw, but that's going to work for Marianne. And they need to come off this because it's going to overcurl. Come up. Come up, Paul digging in, sweeping like a maniac for no purpose. And that has overcurled. It's a biter, but it was not a guard. So wide open 2 stones on the 4. I would have come off that a lot sooner and hoped to have gotten something of a guard out of it. Anyway, Rick Moore is being asked to throw a double. And the stones are wide open, but the double is exceptionally difficult because the stones are almost locked on. The only way to make a double here would be to hit very skinny on the left side of the stone as I look at it. And skinny is coming from the outside in, which means he would have to cut across the face to make the double, which makes it even harder. So if he was going to throw the double, he probably should have come the other way. But this is kind of an easier shot to call line on. Rick Stone is on the broom, and they should be probably sweeping it, but they're not. He's trying to come across the face. It's trying. He might get there. It's at least nose. All right, it is nose. Unlocked the, took one yellow out and unlocked the other, but the one that's there, the shot stone is very hittable.
Thanks. I've been here since 12 and haven't eaten, so.
Over on sheet A,
Guard.
Ryan has put up a guard and he's sitting shot buried on the 4. And looks like he's counting at least 2, maybe 3, and Ed has to double run back the red into the yellow, into the red. Exceptionally difficult shot. I do not have that shot. Maybe Ed has that shot. I don't. Over on sheet B, Julie's inside out hit has not enough weight and has overcurled, so that's just going to maybe be out of play and bite the outside line. And so it looks like Glatzel is still sitting shot in the back 8. Elizabeth Falsetti being asked to hit this stone on the button. Sweepers are on it. I'm not sure why, because it still needs to move, but it's moving now. And looks like they're going to get the outside of this and roll. I probably would have preferred to not sweep that and hit and roll inside the guard, but maybe you don't want to take the chance of crashing on that guard. The safe play was to make sure to get the hit, and she did make the safe play. Over on A, Ed did not make the double run back, and he pushed another one in. So
Brian's sitting 4 with a dropper.
Brian is sitting 4, you think? It could be 4.
It's hard to tell.
I
it's
think the
probably
one,
3.
I think the yellow in the top
Is-
is out counting the red on the back. So he's sitting 3, and he has this is hammer?
Yeah. that's him. So he's got a dropper.
All right. Well, I don't think tapping up the red that's in the top 12 does anything for him because that's already counting. But if he gets by it, or wicks off it, maybe he could count another one. Sweepers are on it. He just has to get full white. And they're on it. Jake's going to come out and try and help it. It's going to be close. I think he's got it. And I think we'll see handshakes on A. That's going to be 11-2. And there's handshakes on A. All right, nice win by Brian Tully. Over on sheet B, Ryan Heidi down 4-2, looking to draw in, is a little heavy, and that's going to sail through. Glatzel still sitting shot. And Glatzel sitting shot with hammer. Is this the hammer stone? No, looks like it's the first stone for Glatzel. Over on sheet C, Marianne's got a wide open hit. That needs to curl, but I think the weight is good enough that it will come in. Sweepers are off it. Needs to curl a little bit. Sweepers are on it now. Looks like it's dead nose to me. Sweeper's holding it because it's starting to over curl, but she's got enough of it to get it out. And sit 2, maybe 3 with a biter on the top. Yes, she's sitting 3. And the stone in the back 8 is mostly buried. Skinny looking at maybe hitting it, but he doesn't have, well, he does have hammer, so hitting it wouldn't be terrible. But the better play, I think, would be to corner to it, tap it maybe. I don't think he wants to hit it because if he hits it, I don't think there's any way he can hit it out and stay unless he's really down weight. Because he can't, I don't think he can get to the nose of it. Only have 2 games to call now. There's a hit here. Glatzel trying to hit that red stone. And he nudged it in. So now it is 3-2 in favor of Glatzel in terms of each of them doing favors for the other team. 3-2 Glatzel on the favors. Glatzel shaking his head. But he's got one more favor than Ryan does, which is the reason why he's up 4-2. Skinny stone needs to cross the center line to be any good, and it's hanging on the center line, and if it doesn't move off the center line, it's going to sail through. So it's off the center line now, but I don't think the weight is good, but it's still a little heavy, and he did tap it a little bit, but it's wide open. So if you read my materials, one of the other things I said about the dead freeze, toughest shot in the game, is it's very important to be light on that and not bounce, because if you bounce, you give up an open hit, and that's exactly what Skinny did here. Not an easy hit. There's a potential jam if Marianne hits it on the outside. There is a jam on that yellow that is shot, or second shot. But if Marianne can nose it or come across the face of it, she will sit 3. Over on sheet B, looks like Ryan is shot thanks to that miss by Glatzel. And it looks like Glatzel has hammer. So Ryan is going to try and draw down behind the center guard, and if he's light, at least guard the shot rock.
Never
A lot of room for a draw here.
last time we played.
See if Friday Night Marianne, who has played lights out, can make another spectacular hit. She's had a hell of a game. Ryan Heidi's draw is on the way. Sweepers are off it. Looks to be a touch heavy to me. It's slowing down, so it could be okay. Sweepers are on it now. It's in the frost, so now it's just going to be a guard. It's not getting anywhere. And they need to sweep it over to be a guard, and it's not even a good guard. So not a great throw there by Ryan. A little wide. Marianne's hit coming over. Look out for the jam. No jam. Nice shot, Friday Night Marianne. Friday Night Marianne is the star of this Thursday night. We may have to change her name to Thursday Night Marianne, or it could be Thursday and Friday Night Marianne, which is kind of a long nickname. It's kind of a long nickname, but I'm going to have to work on that.
How about every night?
Every night, all night. Every night, all night, Marianne. There we go. Every night, all night, Marianne. Am I going to get banned for that? Am I getting banned? It's only 2 scotches. It's only 2 scotches. Am I going to get banned for this? This is my first night back. Every night, all night, Marianne. There we go. Skinny has a potential double, but really all he needs to do is hit nose on this one, maybe roll over. And this has got to move a ton. The weight is good, so I think it's going to move. Dan Villagomez thinking about sweeping it. Don't sweep it. Why are we sweeping this? It's fine. Leave it alone. All right, we're going to tap it back. Nice shot, Skinny. Sweep that out. You don't want to leave any jammers back there. All right, that was the last shot. Okay, that's one. Tie game. Tie game. Very exciting game on C. Over on B, Brian Glatzel hits the stone that Ryan failed to guard and takes 3, and that will be a 7-2 lead for Brian Glatzel through 6. It's going to be very tough for Ryan to come back. The most interesting game remains on sheet C. As I'm finishing up the second scotch, and we enter the danger zone for the last 2 ends on sheet C. How many board members are listening to me right now?
Yeah, 4 former members.
We've got 9. Let's see.
Who's the most likely to complain?
Who's the most likely to complain? All right.
Just so I can.
We got, I don't know, we got 9 to 11 viewers.
At least 3 of.
I don't know. We got a couple board members. I don't know. All right. Not much to see on sheet B. Glatzel throws one in. Ryan's got to go for the corner guard. He can't be hitting anything right now. Down 7-2 with 2 ends to play. So he's got to go corner guard. And much to my surprise, it looks like he did ask for a hit, which really doesn't make much sense.
They're self-serve.
No, that's not freeze. That's hit.
Oh, hold on.
All right.
More cheese, guys.
Ryan needs to read my materials. Over here on sheet C, Skinny looking to draw behind that corner guard. It's a nice guard. He's got hammer, a good corner guard. He's going to throw in a tie game in the 7th. Good play. Cindy has the stone on its way. Sweepers are on it. Not sure they should be sweeping it yet. They just came off. And they're on it again. Still not sure it needs to be swept, although it could be crashing. And I think it's through. I don't think that the sweep call there was correct. All right. Over on sheet B, looks like Glatzel tried to hit back and didn't. So that's a footnote to my memo where exchanging hits only works if you can have a team that actually can hit. And so a flash there has given Ryan an opportunity to put a second one in. And I think Glatzel will go back to hitting again, up 7-2. Over on sheet C, Dan Villagomez being asked to throw one to the corner was a little heavy, and so Skinny's going to ask for a draw again behind the corner guard.
I mean, I'm emailing it to you, but
Okay,
you
we
know,
can email
later.
All right, Dan's throw is on its way. Looks hot out of his hand. He fell. Sweepers are not on it. This looks very hot to me.
You're going to
Sweepers are thinking about it, but I don't think this needs to be swept at all. It's dying now. Maybe it'll settle. Skinny's sweeping it as Skinny does. Can he get it out? I wasn't trying to get it out. It was his stone. I think he was just trying to take it back. Marianne is asking Mr. Douglas to hit this stone. Mrs. Douglas, she's got eyes on. All right, this stone, once it crosses the center line, is going to snap. So you got to keep the delivery on the left side of the center line, which he has. So the release is good. It's tracking. It's a little hot. It's got to come back. It's going to be close. No, he pitched it maybe a little wide. Too much weight. I've had this discussion with Paul about weight, and he does tend to throw heavy, and that one was heavy. So he thinks he pitched it. I think it was just too much weight. I just told Paul he threw too much weight, and he agreed. And now Dan is looking to just guard that stone. So just a nice centerline guard here, not too much weight. As we focus on sheet C, that's a little wide and a little heavy, needs to slow down and come back. Trying, it's trying. I think he might wick into his own stone, or maybe sit on his own stone, which is not terrible. All right, dead freeze, not terrible. Dead freeze, not terrible. Paul, I think both of these stones are behind the tee line. Let's see if I can see that. No, they're not behind the tee line. Mr. Douglas does need to get dead nose here and unlock the two on the back. Needs to be tighter. Needs to definitely not overthrow it. So let's see. Marianne changes the broom at all. Marianne has not set the broom yet. Broom is a little tighter. Paul's got to throw just a touch less weight. Once it crosses that center line, it's going to snap though. So he's thrown a lot of weight again. Sweepers are on it. And oh no, this is going to be close. I picked off the top one. Still a huge amount of weight. Got to tell him he throws too much weight on hits. That's your mission for this evening. All right, I've given Mrs. Douglas the instruction. Good curling over here on sheet A.
Cheers.
Cheers. Don't go back and listen to what I had to say. You won't like it. I'm pretty sure you won't like any of it.
call anyone all night.
Yeah.
No, the star of this evening, well, Brian Tully played his eyeballs out tonight, for sure.
No, sorry, Brian. Marianne is the VIP.
But Marianne is MVP of the evening if she wins this game.
Oh. I don't know if she made two bits.
Mark talk about what idiot I'm for dressing like a cat. Whatever else he's saying.
I made no mention of you dressing like a cat. All right. Elizabeth Falsetti has an open hit through the port. I don't know why Marianne is coming that way. I hope she changes it, and she just did, so that's good. This stone is going to snap as soon as it crosses the center line, so Elizabeth's got to keep it on the left side of the center line till the very end, and she has. It looks to be pretty good weight. Paul should take note of the weight that she's just thrown. It needs to come, though. It needs to come across that center line. It's coming now. It needs to come a little more. Oh, no. And she crashed. No, it was a little heavy. Not as heavy as Paul's, but a little heavy. All right, so Skinny looking to just guard that stone that's on the button. Actually, top 12 would even be better since he's got, well, he doesn't have hammer, right? He does not have hammer, so just a guard and a steal would be lovely. Rick Moore, nice weight. Sweepers are on it. They really should be off it and allow it to curl. It's got to cross the center line. So don't sweep it until it crosses the center line. It looks a little heavy. It still hasn't crossed the center line. It's probably going to be a dead freeze or maybe a tap. Slowing down now. They're going to sweep it to a dead freeze. That works. Nice shot, Rick. Well done. I raise the glass of what's remaining in my second scotch to Rick Moore. And Elizabeth Falsetti being asked to throw the hit again. A lot of broom here. It's a huge amount of broom. She's got to throw this way down on that broom. All right, she has thrown it down, so that's good, but I still think it's too much broom and it's got a long way to track. Long, long way to track. Sweepers are on it because it's light, but it's got a long way to track and it hasn't crossed the center line yet. Long way to track still. It's coming now. I think it's just going to sit on top of those red ones, which is not terrible. Sets up another shot. But I think red is probably sitting too. Let's see if I can take a look. We have no Farsi camera, sorry. So can't really tell. It looks to me like red is sitting too, and Skinny just needs to throw another guard. Over on A, Glatzel trying to hit stones. Did get one. Looks like Ryan is sitting only one. And he's going to try and draw behind his guard. Tough to come back from down 7-2.
I've done it.
We've all done it, but it's tough.
I mean, you can be 7-0 and still win 10-8. Did that 2 weeks ago.
It can be done. It can be done, but it's not preferred.
No.
Not the preferred methodology for winning.
Preferred method of us getting there? No?
All right, so Skinny just looking to throw a guard. Center line guard would be perfect. Actually, slightly off on the left side of center would be even more perfect. Would cut down Marianne's draw also. Sweeper's not touching it. It's a little wide, needs to work. I would say just left of center line would be a perfect guard here. It's running a little deep. Don't want to be deep. Definitely do not want to give a hit and roll over onto those stones. Oh, this is a beauty. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. If he picked up the stone and put it down on the ice, that's exactly where he would put it. Perfect shot. Marianne looking at it. There's virtually no room through that port to hit her yellow stone. I mean, it is all night, every night, Marianne. So maybe she can. I mean, that's pretty much the port I had her throw when she became Friday Night Marianne. So maybe, but that is an incredibly difficult shot. She's looking at it. Clearing the guard is not terrible, but Skinny's just going to put it back. She could try to run either of those reds back into her yellow, which it wouldn't be terrible if she did that. If she can hit either red, any part of that yellow, I think the back red goes and she gives up only one, or Skinny would be sitting only one. It does not look to me like she's planning on peeling that guard. It looks like she's trying to get through the port and maybe figuring that if she misses, she could get either clear a guard, maybe clear both guards, or maybe run back the red into the yellow. So there's a lot of misses here that work for her. But the shot appears to be through the port, yellow into red, and that would be spectacular. All right, Marianne's shot is underway. Sweepers are on it. It's a little narrow. It's coming across. Go to plan B. All right, they're trying to sweep it to get the other side of that red. Oh no, this is just going to be a total flash. No. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest. I'm a little disappointed. Marianne had to hit either of those red stones or get through the port. She did none of it. And so now Skinny, we'll see if he gets greedy. But I think the right play here is to just block Marianne's draw. I wouldn't even bother putting up the center line guard because it's such a difficult shot for her to get through that port. I personally would just throw another one top 12 on the left side and take away the draw, but looks like Skinny's going to take away the throw through the port and leave Marianne the draw. The draw is the easier shot. So not my preferred call here, but I can understand why Skinny's calling it. He also would take away the 2 red runbacks. Also very difficult if he throws a good guard right down the center line. All right, we'll see. Skinny's thinking about it now. Nope, he's resetting, staying with the same shot. What he doesn't want to do is bang either of those reds and open it up. So this has got a shot with some risk here. He's going to want to be light. And he's probably happy with a hog rather than crashing those red guards. Sweepers aren't on it. Coming down. I don't think it's going to do any harm. They're sweeping it now. Might be a little wick. He's plugged up the hole. I think that's what he was trying to do. All right, he's left her the draw. So that's what she should throw the draw. I hope she's not looking at a run back, but maybe she is. But the right play here is to just draw. I hope she makes it and vindicates what I thought was the right call. We'll see. Love to see her make this draw here. The broom is kind of tight for a draw. I'm not sure what she's planning on throwing here. Is she trying to throw a red run back? Come on, Marianne, throw the draw to the button. Looks like there's a shake on B. I did not see what happened in the last end, but there's a shake on B, so Brian Glatzel's the winner on sheet B.
Brian just took 1, so he thought he was too far down.
All right, Brian took 1, and he was already up. And Marianne looks like she's throwing the tap. I don't know, this looks very light. Sweepers need to go. Come on, Douglas. Put some elbow grease into this. Come on, Douglas.
He can hear you.
Nah, that's all on you, Douglas. Make sure you tell him what I said. All right. Could be my first and last game of the season on the broadcast.
That's what Mike Hope thinks.
Mike Hope thinks that?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
That it's going to be his first
He
one?
said it's coming, Captain Hook. Zakin's headed for the game misconduct.
Oh.
I'm headed to the bar. Last end, last scotch.
Water.
Hey, Julie.
There be an alarm on this, Mark? Should we call the three Scotch Zakin alarm?
3 scotch Zakin alarm.
Isn't this one water?
Yeah. All right, that's enough. Whoops, got to pay you for it.
This is groundwater.
All righty. Third scotch in hand. I'm hunkered down for the last end. Skinny up by 2.
I know.
Skinny throws in. Wanted to be top 4. A little deep. Back 12. Marianne looking to throw the corner guard. Needs some offense here. Really good game here on sheet C. Very exciting game. Got to get that over the hog line.
Although some of them are, yeah, available.
All right. That's over. Good corner guard. Well swept. All right. Skinny calling for top 12 or a biter. Good call. Cindy going to throw this. She's had a very good game. Very big comeback by Skinny here. He was down 4-0 after 3. Took that big 4 in the 4th end. Then they traded ones, and then Skinny broke through for the 2 in the last end. Sweepers are on this, needing to keep it from over-curling and getting it over the hog line. It will over-curl, but it's good weight. I think it will be maybe just biting the 12. Maybe short of the 12. And it's now biting the 12.
Cindy, she's new?
I've never met her and I don't know. Okay, so Marianne asking Sean to what? Hit the stone on the back? Not sure that's the right play. I think the right play here would be to draw behind her corner guard. But I'm not sure what this is. It's a little wide. And it might be a flash. It needs to settle. It's going through. I think she was looking to hit the stone on the back, maybe. Skinny going to try and put another one in the top 12 biting. All right. Skinny asking Dan to just throw a top 12 biter, block off the draw, protect his shot rock on the back. Marianne's got to find a way to generate 2 to go to a skips rocks. This is a little heavy. So that's going to help Marianne. I don't know why the sweepers are on this, because it's maybe they don't want to hit the stone on the back, so they're sweeping it by. And they've swept it by, so that's fine. Marianne really needs to draw here. I don't think hitting on the back. There you go, Marianne. Marianne is called the draw behind the red guard. I think the broom's in the right spot, and she needs a good shot from Mr. Douglas. Mrs. Douglas, are you watching? This is tight to that corner, and it's coming across that center line, and it's going to crash on that red for sure. And it's a little light. It's not that light, it's just that it was a little narrow, and it's going to bang off that red. Maybe it'll come in if they get just an edge of it. Nope. But it's a potentially useful stone, and one that Larry has to figure out what he wants to do with. So he's thinking about whether to hit it. There's jams everywhere. Or whether to just guard it or draw behind it. Given this a lot of thought, I particularly like the draw behind it. That's probably what I would do. And not try to hit it because there's too many jams and it's dangerous. But he has decided to hit it, which is definitely the right shot so long as there's no jams. So Dan is being asked to hit it. He wants to hit it on the outside. That avoids the jams. Sweepers are on it. There is a potential jam on the back. It is coming in to potentially nose. Skinny is now asking to come across the face of it. There's still a jam on the left side, and oh, he avoids double jams. Nice shot. Well done, Dan. Very dangerous call. And and a nice plan B call in the middle of that stone as it was coming down the ice, because it was definitely not going to hit on the outside where the broom was, but it caught it on the inside and didn't jam. So Marianne now has to draw. She's thinking about it. She could draw down to the red on the back. She could draw behind the red in the 12, which is what she's called. I think I would draw behind her corner guard, but she's chosen not to do that. Mrs. Douglas, Mr. Douglas is trying to throw again. And again, he's narrow, and this should be swept. He's going to hit that red again. And there it is.
He hits it again.
He hits it again.
This time they can't hit it out so easily.
Mrs. Douglas, what punishment do you administer to Mr. Douglas when he plays poorly?
I have to think of something.
All right.
I'm open to discussion.
You work on. Oh, I would love to discuss that with you,
But maybe not on the mic.
but maybe not on the microphone, as it is my first day back. I love this. I hope they don't toss me again.
Oh, by the way, I'm not.
Was that? All right, Rick Moore looking to probably throw top 12 on the center. Guard this stone on the back, take away the draw. It's a very nice throw from Rick. Really good stone. Very nice stone. I would have swept that a little bit to outcount that yellow on the front, but he's got 2 counters. He doesn't really need that. Marianne's got no choice now. She's got to throw a draw behind that red. Broom is too tight, Marianne. You need to move that broom over. I don't think this shot can be made on that broom. Too tight on the broom. We'll see. But if she doesn't crash on that red, she's going to be heavy. Unless she throws wide. She is a little wide, so that's helpful. Sweepers are on it. Coming in nice now. Got to go hard now. Got to go hard, Mr. Douglas. Come on, Mr. Douglas. Put some elbow grease into that. All right, very nice sweep. Yes. All right, we may need to rethink the punishment there, Mrs. Douglas. He finally did a good thing. He redeemed himself partially. It was overswept a smidge, but still very nice sweep. All right. Skinny, I think, is talking about a hit, but personally I think he'd be better off since he only needs to give up 1 here. The better shot would be to draw down to the yellow. He does not want Rick to overthrow this and flash. It is a little wide. It needs to slow down. Still wide. Sweepers are off it. It's trying to come back, but I think it's flashing. Not what we're looking for here. All right, Marianne gets to throw another one. That flashed. Marianne gets to throw on top 4. Top 4, Marianne. Don't be misled by the broom where you put the broom last time, because Elizabeth was wide.
No, I don't have any of those.
Top 4. Got to be outside the 4 on the broom here. We're on the 4. Oh, we're inside the... Come on, Marianne. A little outside the 4 here would be better. Let's hope Elizabeth's wide again. And she is, so that's going to work. All right. Elizabeth's a little wide. Needs to move. Come on, Douglas. Get on that. Let's go, Douglas. Sweep hard, buddy. Come on, sweep hard. The woodshed is waiting for you. Come on now. Nah, just a smidge light, but another tricky stone for Larry to deal with. Skinny is thinking about hitting this. Now there is a potential double, but there's also a jam on the red on the back, and it could be a double jam, yellow to yellow, and a jam on the back, and yellow could be sitting 2 after this throw. But if he can get it out, he needs to cut across the face. Which way he's, oh, he just changed which way he's coming. And that's a lot of broom. That, I think, is a lot of broom for this shot. But based on that broom, he's got a plan B potential. If he's wide and heavy, he could hit his red back into the yellow. So, interesting selection here, which way to come. And now they're changing it and coming the other way. Safer shot, but no plan B here. Needs to cut across the face still, I think. Dead nose could be a double, but I still think there's a jam on that red on the back. Needs to cut across the face, but then that red that he has is sticking out a little bit, and he could hit the red first. Shot's on its way, a little narrow, over curling. They should be sweeping it. A little late on the sweep. Coming in nice now. Great shot. He got both his red and the yellow. But it's opened it up quite a bit. It has opened it up quite a bit because it overcurled and hit his own red, which he did not want to do. And so his red has spilled in to sit shot, I believe, but it's very gettable. So Marianne could hit that and roll over and sit 2, which is what she needs to tie the game. So big shot here for all night, Marianne. All night, any night, Marianne. Here we go. All right, I think the broom is right. Once this crosses the center line, it's going to snap. So Mr. Douglas needs to be sweeping vigorously once this passes the center line.
Half the teams haven't played yet. They play tomorrow. We could be playing one of them. Yeah.
Mr. Douglas should have the rock and should be sweeping as soon as this crosses the center line. All right, Marianne in the hack, coming inside out.
I'm sorry.
She's down the center line, needs to move, and it's moved, and they're sweeping. Come on, Douglas, sweep hard. Sweep hard, Douglas. Let's go, buddy.
On the wrong rock.
No.
They hit it at the right angle.
Maybe you can bump.
No, it was a little down. The weight was a little down.
It was narrow.
The weight was a little down. She was a tad narrow and a little light. And as soon as it hit the center line, it snapped. So Skinny, I think really Skinny hits that stone on the back out, and then there's no way for Marianne to get 2. So all he needs to do is slash that yellow out. Even if the red on the back goes, well, if the red on the back goes, it would give, that's the danger. If he hits the yellow on the back and takes the red out on the back, then the stone he's throwing has to stay. So he's thinking about that. And maybe the safer play is to just draw. If he draws down to that yellow on the button, he draws down to that, dead freeze or just biting or whatever, it's going to make it very difficult for Marianne to take 2. So he's also talking about going top 12. I don't like top 12 because, well, I like top 12 if it covers the red one that is shot, but he does not want to leave that open and not be with another counter in there. So I think the best shot here would be to draw down to the yellow. Even if he tapped it back a little bit, that's the best shot. There's no way for her to take 2 if he does that. Well, we'll see what he's deciding. He's got a broom that could be drawing down or hitting. It could be a guard. Not sure exactly what the call is. We'll know as soon as he releases it what the call is. Looks like he's not throwing hit weight, that's for sure. It's definitely down. It's going to move, so they should be sweeping it, but they're not. So I'm not sure what they're looking for. Maybe he's looking to just wick off his red or guard his red. All right. If it freezes to his red, that's pretty good too. And that's what he's done. He's frozen to his red. I think the only way for Marianne to get 2 now would be to hit that red and flop over and outcount the stone that she's hitting. The backstone will go. The backstone goes, and if she flops over, she might catch second shot. So, not the throw I would have thrown, but not a bad throw. Skinny did leave her with a shot for 2. It's just an exceptionally difficult shot. She needs to hit the top red on the outside, flop over, and outcount the stone that she's hitting, and send the back red out. There's not a huge amount of weight that's necessary here. It's more exactly where she hits it and which way she decides to come. And if she comes inside out, she's got to start it on the right side of the center line, because with the weight she's been throwing, if she starts it on the left side of the center line, it's going to snap off and she's never making this shot. So the broom really has to be right of center line if she's coming that way. And Elizabeth has the broom right of center line. I think it needs to be a little bit more right of center line, but we'll see where Marianne throws it. She's got to throw it down the right side of the center line as I look at this. Uh-oh. Oh, she did, but she threw a ton of weight and she pitched it. So I think this is just going to sail through, hit her own stone on the back. She will take maybe 1, maybe not any. But she's definitely not taking 2 here. All right, excellent game, but it looks like it goes to Skinny. Very nicely played. And that will conclude evening 1 of the club challenge, with the winners on sheet A being Brian Tully, on sheet B, Brian Glatzel, on sheet C, Skinny Larry. It was great fun to be back at the club for this Bonspiel. I hope you all listened and enjoyed the stream. And maybe I'll be back someday. We'll see if they'll let me. All right, Mark Zakin signing off.